filled to the appropriate level.
Good, you filled. We're live. Actually.
Oh, we're live.
I just hit the live button.
Hey guys.
Hello.
How you doing?
We're still doing preparation, and I hit the live button. Hey. So let's do this thing where we get the chat stream just in case there's anyone there. But I didn't do an advance notice, so there's probably no one here yet because Windows laptop just spent like 45 fucking minutes. Luke and Stephen are there. Hello.
Hey,
hello.
Luke and Stephen. How are you guys?
Yeah, my laptop just spent 45 minutes doing Windows update and restarting and
doing stuff.
Yeah, but it's done, obviously, because we're here now.
We are so here now. It's ridiculous.
And got us ready so we can function at ground control, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
Send messages to Major Tom.
Can I just point out that I love your hair?
No, thank you. It's probably going to get cut. Is
it going to get coloured?
Yeah, I might, because I'm going back into the job market. So it might be a really conservative colour, like brown.
Not purple.
No, not for actually going to jobbing. I have to have been in a job for a while
before you purple.
And be very comfortable there before I'll do something as attention drawing as going purple.
Hey Stephen, we are in fact good today.
Yes.
I am overjoyed to be back at work, which was a thing that was probably not going to happen. And I will tell you all about that as we go along.
Yeah, we'll warm up first.
We'll warm up first. There is some hugging. And there's also some under the table touching. But Angry just won't do it. I will do it for Angry, but he won't do it for me, which just enforces the slave-master relationship.
All right, okay. I'm trying to, it's like, because we've closed this room in where we are so we don't disrupt the rest of my household. And I think it's a bit warmer in here than in other rooms. And I was going to open an outside door. I'm trying to see what the outside temperature is. And I don't know, my Bureau of Meteorology app won't work, so I don't know. Anyway, yes, Chris, we are going to finish the story from last time. We've got to warm up a bit, let a few more people arrive, because we weren't able to send out an advance thing.
Because we had the blue screen of death a couple of times. We tried it on a couple of times, and then Angry got the shits and said, "We're done. We're done. AIDzee, you can leave. You can leave Angry Studios and go the fuck to your place. You can go to your box under a bridge where you're... My box was taken over by a bully who I had to knife.
A homeless bully. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if he was homeless. I just think he was into taking $5 bits off homeless people.
Okay.
You know, I never know. I never know. I don't assume that people who live in cardboard boxes under a bridge are homeless, but you know, you can kind of assume.
Yeah. See, and when it's time for AIDzee to go, I can make him go. Like some people might say, well, you know, do you get violent? Do you use a knife, cricket bat threats? No. I can hold this up and say go, or these come. This is rock candy that's actually infused with chili oil, and chili gives AIDzee an anaphylactic reaction, i.e. dead times.
Yeah, it's crazy. I tried. When I was a young fellow, my father gave me mustard, which is very hot, English mustard, and said, you're a wimp for crying. And I could actually eat mustard. It's actually not the chemical that hurts me. And for years and years and years, I tried to eat chili with the best of it. When you were at university, there was 2 kinds of meal at home. There was grey slop, which was called stew, or red slop, which was called chili stew. And so that was your eating regimen. So I'd eat the red slop, and it would burn and hurt. And then slowly but surely, I started to get swollen. And I'd always had problems with chili, but more and more and more it got worse and worse and worse. And then one time I had a cold, and a friend of mine said, what you need is a chili garlic And so you get a bottle of beer and put a clove of garlic in it that you warmed in the microwave, pop that in, and then you pop a chili in. And I drank this and I could feel it actually opening up my bronchial tubes and my nasal cavity. And then it kept on opening up my bronchial tubes and nasal cavity, and my lips started to swell and my nasal cavity started to swell, and I started to get to the point where I was going, guys, I'm having trouble breathing. I think I'm in trouble. And they looked at me and my eyes were bleeding. And I said,
I shouldn't laugh,
we think you should go to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital and they said, that, sirs, is an anaphylactic reaction. Bang into the adrenaline. And I could breathe again, but they said, bad anaphylactic reaction. You're staying in hospital, and they pumped me full of shit for like a couple of days. And they said, so, AIDzee, no more chili for you. It is bad for you and will hurt you. And when people touch chili and touch my skin, it actually welts up. It actually, you can see where their fingers have gone because it welts up. And when we in the YouTube gathering crowd go to Nando's, which is a fabulous and fine establishment, and they do great food, I can stay in there with the crowd for 20 minutes at a time before the chili in the air attacks my eyes and nose, and I start feeling my eyes swell up, and I have actually been in there and my eyes start to bleed. And friends have gone, yeah, you're not well. And I've gone, I've overstayed my welcome at Nando's, and left and cleared myself out and then come back in. I give myself 25 minutes to clear out, and then I come back in. And I know, and I set my timer on my phone, and basically I go 20 minutes, time to go. And I can share dinner with people, but not at the same time for all of the time.
For those who don't know, a Cheeky Nando's is a chain that does Portuguese style chicken, and they have a couple of different styles. They do barbecue style, a lemon herb style, and they do chili style in a number of strengths. And when they get to the stronger chilies and the chili sauces they offer, they are not fucking around.
No.
You get like the chili, it's got to be real chili. No, when Nando's say extra hot, they mean
extra hot. I've seen macho people go in and say, I'm going to handle fucking extra hot, and they cry.
And so AIDzee's that allergic that even the air in Nando's
starts to attack me.
So yes, people say, how do you keep AIDzee under control? I threaten him with rock candy.
It's simple. It's simple.
It's really simple. And like, have you ever had one of those allergy tests where they put a little grid on your arm and poke you with various things? And if you have any allergies as well, that's what AIDzee's talking about happens with chili oil. Like, I don't even have to necessarily, I don't have to make him eat one of the candies. No. But I could just crush one up in my hands and rub it over my hands. It's like, time to go, time to go.
And I will be going, of course, sir. Yes, sir. We don't need to be here. No, it's okay. It's okay. Do you need the blowjob? I will be on my knees. I will crawl out on my knees, usually naked, which I don't know, Angry doesn't like. I go, I'm naked. Everyone loves that. And Angry goes, no, put your clothes on. What's that about?
Fairly conservative neighbourhood around here, really. That's when me and Jason stayed here late, and at 3 in the morning we decided to go. There's a really, really good park near here, like playground and stuff.
It's awesome.
There was zero noise in this neighbourhood where I live at 2, 3 in the morning. It's so quiet.
Oh yeah,
so quiet. Quiet is great. Anyway, hi Tara. Good on you for dropping by.
Hey Tara.
So yeah, AIDzee's also trying to be good, because I made some lime vodka. I had some fresh limes that I juiced, and they didn't actually provide much juice, and I was feeling a bit dipped, so I used the pulp and the actual lime rinds. and just put them in a big thing and poured vodka in and left it for a week. And you probably, okay, it looks a bit yellow on there. It's a little bit greener than that. We don't really get true colors coming out in this webcam.
True colors and webcams. What's going on? There's a pinhole in there. And when I was a kid, pinhole cameras were different.
Yes.
They didn't work.
Yes. So
this, by the way, this technology blows my mind because I'm old.
Yeah. This is a lime infused vodka which we've taste tested. And
I once went to a magician who said, I can do telepathy. And I went, that's brilliant. How do you do that? And he said, like this. And I went, is that real magic? And he said, are you fucking kidding me? Do you know how that works? And I went, no. And he said, clearly magic. And I've gone, good point. I've talked to Indigenous Australians who used to be at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They would sit facing the northwest. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, everybody would do this, and they would, according to legend, they would link into the dreaming, and you could send messages across the country. And you had to listen to all the messages from everybody, but you could pick out the messages for you. And the Australian settlers who turned up didn't understand what was going on, and really heard the story and thought it was bullshit. And then it was discovered that events that were happening in, say, Kakadu were being relayed to South Australia in half an hour, which is not something that the Telegraph at the time could do. And they were going, maybe there's something in this.
Yeah.
Maybe the Indigenous Australians can teach us something. Anywho, moving on from freaky shit
to light. Tara's pointing out that it depends on the sort of room lights. This is actually natural sunlight. There's no artificial light on us at the moment. It's 4:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday here. This is natural light, which will last for another 4 hours, because I think it's, if not today, it was really recently that we actually had the summer solstice.
It's soon. I know
it's either
soon.
Just happened or just about to happen.
It's either just happened or about to happen.
So the longest day of the year. So it's going to be this sort of light for another 4 hours, unless clouds come over, which they might. But anyway, this is natural light. I think you're absolutely right, Tara. Different temperatures of light make a huge difference. And even sunlight going in and out of clouds will change its warmth or lack thereof.
True story.
It's kind of fun because so many people think light is light, and no, son, it's not. Some light's really blue, some light's really yellow, or leaning into red. Warmer temperatures are in the red end of the spectrum, cooler and usually brighter light is in the blue end of the spectrum. And once you start doing shit on YouTube, you start to fucking learn about light temperatures, because it really affects how your skin tone looks. And because I often, with the pre-recorded videos, do chroma key stuff, I really need to control the light. And I either do it with the lights or in post-prod by playing in my video editing software.
What, of course, makes it difficult is that what with my original background, my skin tone is fucking really different to our angry friend. And when you're trying to chroma key, one of us disappears. So it's a real pain in the ass.
My heritage is basically when white met bread, and just Scots, Anglo, Celtic. So fucking pasty white.
So my heritage is stolen generation was effectively, the idea was to breed the black out of the stolen generation. What no one thought of was they were breeding the black in to the white population. So now that we have a situation in Australia, which is fucking retarded, that 28% of white Australians have a family connection to Indigenous Australia.
Do your old Ancestry.com DNA test, and you'll have Indigenous blood.
Look at that. You are, in fact, a black guy.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, probably not in my case because I'm so fucking pasty white, but you never know. Because it can visibly go away in just a couple of generations.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, you know, I got sunburnt after being in the sun for half an hour the other day. It's like, fucking hell, really.
I'm actually told by my physicians to get more sun because my vitamin D sucks. So I wander around in the sun and get all tanned. When I was a young fellow, I used to swim competitively, which I hated. And in the summertime, we would swim in an outdoor pool. This is, of course, before sunscreen and before the understanding that cancer was going to kill you.
Yeah.
And so my brother particularly would get black.
Yeah, you bronze the fuck up with your...
He would get black. And, you know, when his Speedos came off, you could see the white and then the black. I would get quite dark, but he would get black, and his nickname at school was the black fella. Yeah, then later on, I've had 3 skin cancers removed from me, and in Australia, this is so common that you don't go to hospital. You go to your GP, and they see it, and they go, "Oh, well, we'll get rid of that." The total elapsed time for skin cancer removal was about 30 seconds. The process is so common that they go, "Okay, local anesthetic, local anesthetic, local anesthetic, slip, 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 stitch, 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 send that off to the path lab. See ya.
Yeah.
Done. You're done." One of them took 3 minutes because it was a lot deeper than they thought.
Yeah.
And they had to cut, and they got it. 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Done. Over.
Yeah.
And
I mean, obviously there are more serious ones as well, but because so many Australians have so many surface melanomas, there's a difference. There's melanoma, which has a tendency to be benign, and carcinoma, which is bad news.
Oh yeah.
If it's turned into that, but it can be very surface level and just cut out. Some people, particularly beachy people, you'll see a lot of older white people in beachy suburbs, and their nose kind of looks like plastic because they've had to have the entire surface cut away
and redone
because of the amount of skin cancer they had, and it's been resurfaced. So it's skin, but it doesn't have the texture of normal skin, and it's scar tissue basically.
Yeah.
So the nose will look really plasticky because their nose is all scar tissue.
And you also get Australians who live either in the rural areas or on the beach, and their skin is like leather.
Yeah.
It's like leather, and it's hard and it's tough.
Yeah.
And then you take your shirt off, and then they've got this baby
White,
clear skin underneath, like, you know, the most delicate stuff. But their face and arms are like, you know, you could tan them and make couches in them, you know. It's like, and that's the way it was. But these days, because the ozone hole happened to turn up over Australia and New Zealand, UV index is so high that it's a daily weather report. They tell you it's going to be this hot, and the UV index is going to be 12. So really put sunscreen on. The kids today, when they go out and play in primary school and in elementary school, must have a hat. Really cool wide-brimmed hat. Wide-brimmed hat. If they do not have a hat, they are not allowed outside to play. Yeah, they have to stay under shelter if they don't have the hat because it's too high a risk. Yeah, and when we were young'uns, no one thought a suntan was healthy. Yes, it was healthy. Yeah. You go to the beach to get salt and suntan, and that was healthy. And when you got sunburned, my God, the cure was to get into a shower as hot as you could handle it, which is frankly retarded because you're re-burning the skin. It hurt like hell, and that was the common what was, you know. And of course, these days when you get sunburned, you get into a cold shower, and it feels good.
Yes. Our generation, we were into torturing ourselves or being tortured by our parents.
There was this other thing about in the 1970s. They had this phenomenon where they thought that kids didn't feel pain.
That my fucking dentist when I grew up was a fucking psychopath and would fucking drill my teeth with no anesthetic. Put me off dentists for decades, and so my teeth ended up getting really fucked. And it's because he would fucking drill me with no fucking
And they would
anesthetic.
do this. They would absolutely do this. They would absolutely do.
But I was screaming. Someone's told you kids don't feel pain when you, but I'm actually screaming.
And you go, maybe there's some pain going on. Jesus. I was really lucky. I had a doctor who, in fact, circumcised me.
Just last week, but anyway.
Yeah. I was 6 days old, actually. And he was unusual in the sense that he gave me a local anaesthetic. Which was not heard of in those days. And instead of like fighting and jumping around, I just lied there and went, "This is odd." Yeah. And the scarring healed up really quickly, and there was no complications, and I just went through my life. Big deal. And then I came back with a middle ear infection, which I thought was going to blow the side of my head off. And he said, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pull this stuff in your ear, which was cool, and it was lovely, and it felt great. And he said, now, buddy, this is going to hurt, but it's going to feel a lot better later. And he put a needle into my ear so gently, and basically all this crap came out, and it released the infection. Then gave me a shitload of antibiotics, and I healed in a week. At the time, what they used to do was they used to go, oh, it's a middle ear infection, we'll leave it till it fixes itself, and the fucking stuff used to take 6 weeks. These kids used to cry themselves to sleep, right, with actually swollen faces, until the bloody thing healed itself. It was an incredible time. It was an incredible time. And so dentistry was a weird place. Yeah. I was really lucky because this same doctor I was talking about said, you must not go to this dentist, or this dentist. You must go to this dentist. And I went to this dentist, and I was a bit afraid because the teeth hurt, and I had a toothache. And he said, right, buddy, we're going to give you some gas. And so he gave me some gas. And then he said, my turn. I, to this day, don't know if he was really doing it, right, or if he was faking it. Because there was 2 buttons. There was one for oxygen and one for gas. Yeah. Right. And he says, Mum's turn. And I know Mum got the gas. She told me later that she really got the gas, and he really gave her a big belt. And she was like, I'm feeling really cool about this. Yeah. And I got a really big belt of gas. And then he said, do you feel a bit giggly? And I was laughing my ass off. And he said, now another belt of gas, boom. And he said, one for me. And he said, righto, we're ready to go. And he drilled the tooth. The infection came out of it, and then he took the tooth. It was a baby tooth. So he said, it will replace itself. I want you to drink salt for a couple of weeks, which is today the treatment. But at the time, it was radical. This guy was just like so far ahead of his time. And frigging thing healed in like 2 weeks. And I talk to guys my age, and they go, oh, I haven't been to the dentist in 20 years. Yeah. And it's like, yeah, you maybe want to go. Yeah. No. Whenever I get a toothache, I just brush it more. Yeah. And it goes away. And it's like, dude, no.
I think I was like I've been in my 30s when I finally went to the dentist, because one of my molars basically collapsed, just broke into pieces.
That hurts.
And you can't ignore it at that point. So I went for emergency surgery, and I sat through it, and they basically, like, the equivalent Well, they said you can have root canal or extraction, and I went do an extraction, and it broke into pieces when they tried to extract it, so they had to fucking cut into my door. But I didn't feel anything because they used lots of anesthetic, and they said I was very strong about it. But I was still, even after having this done, I was still not good with dentists, and it was like another 10 years before I had to get other work done because I had all this chronic gum infection, and these people did really good work and fucking fixed my teeth and gums. And I go every 6 months now. And I don't have any problems.
Because they're actually good.
But motherfucker, from my childhood, even, okay, I know Tara's saying surgery, local v general. Now, some people, if they're given the option of local for surgery, will go for it, because there is always a risk if you get general, you don't wake up. And I've heard people say that, and again, I'll go with not waking up as opposed to being conscious while someone's slicing me the fuck up. Putting stuff together or cutting stuff out or whatever, I definitely get you. Except the one time they really keep you conscious is when they're doing brain surgery these days. There are some absolutely fascinating videos. You can get them on YouTube of brain surgery. And because they want, in a lot of these cases, they're fiddling with your brain, they want you to be conscious because they want to know if they've damaged a part of your brain.
Because they want to know which nerves are touching which things.
Yeah.
So they want to know, because they've got to cut this bit out. Yeah. Or they've got to fix this bit. Now, this bit is next to the thing that controls your arm.
Yeah.
So they touch it and your arm shakes. And they go, can you feel that? And it's like, oh, yeah, my arm is shaking. Right. So we need to be careful about where we're going. And it's a bizarre video because your whole skull cap is off.
Yeah. And they're just in there going.
And they're just in there going a little bit of, and they've got like sheets over, and they're not showing you videos of you, right? They're just touching stuff very gently.
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, I can feel that. I can feel that. And every now and again, they hit the button that gives you an orgasm, which I find fucking hilarious. It is a nerve cluster that makes you come. And it's I don't know if they do it deliberately, because I don't know if they know where it is. But I've heard so many times that they're going, is this an arm? Is this a leg? Is this your back? Slap. Wow, splash. And it's like, oh, do that again. And they go, no.
The point is, Tara observes that you don't feel pain in your brain. There are no nerve endings, and sometimes it's the physical thing. Sometimes it's the cognitive things. They want to know if they're damaging your brain. So there's a fascinating video on YouTube of a guy playing the banjo and singing while they're doing,
which is, you know,
because that actually uses multiple parts of your brain.
Right.
So if he suddenly can't play the banjo and can't sing, that's a warning sign.
Right. You can't go in those nerves.
Look at the fun stories being shared. Chris had a local for his vasectomy, which was strange. I agree.
I've heard of that before.
Yeah. Oh, Stephen's got a scar cut out of his leg under local and just watched them doing the cutting and stitching. See, even if I was under local, I'm not watching shit. I'm not. I've had various stuff done to like my toes and stuff under local. I didn't watch. I stared at the fucking ceiling while they were doing it.
I used to be a bottle washer. It was something physical to do while I was doing comedy. And it just kept me grounded because I was able to be a working person and not do jokes about fucking airplane food and hotels. So it kept me grounded as a working person. I was washing bowls, and I've put my fist into this bottle and it's smashed, and it's put broken glass into my knuckles, my finger knuckles and my knuckles. And I've gone, that is surprisingly painful. And the boss has gone, well, you need to go to the doctor 3 doors up, and they need to remove glass and stitch you up. And then you need to come back to work, because he was that kind of boss. And I've gone to this doctor, and he's gone, right, what we're going to do is we're going to local it up. We're going to remove all the glass, and we need to local it up because we need to find out if you can still feel the glass in your joints, right? Not and bizarrely enough, not painfully,
but just be aware of it.
Be aware of it. And so he's like, got the local in, and you know, local burns. It's weird. It burns for a while.
All feels cold. Sometimes when I've done it,
all feels cold. Yeah,
it feels like I've had it like I got hit in the head with the discus at high school, and I remember that getting a local into my head and it feeling like cold water being poured like through my veins or something, and just spreading out like someone was spilling cold water on my head. Right. But yeah, it basically, local does stimulate nerves as it goes through.
So finally it numbs up, and he goes, righto, flatten your hand. I've flattened my hand, and I've gone, I can't, because the glass has gone right in. He's going, oh, this is a problem. He's got his tweezers out, and he's ripping this glass and I'm looking at it fascinated, going, there's a shitload of glass in my knuckles. So you really punched this bottle hard. Yeah. And he's got it all, pretty much the ones that you can see out. And he's gone, I'm going to mop up the blood here and stitch this and stitch that. The local didn't cover one stitch. One stitch.
You could feel it.
Right? Like it covered a lot of the stitches, but one stitch went bang right into the skin, right through the bone, right out. And I was going, and he's going, oh, yeah, sometimes the local doesn't cover it. I'm going, cover it? He says, oh, we're there now. And he says, move your hands. And I've gone, yeah. And I felt this grinding. Oh, fuck. And he's gone, oh, there's a bit more glass in there. We have to get it out. Yeah. And he's looked at it and gone, well, we can't x-ray it because it's glass.
Yeah, won't show up on an x-ray.
Won't show up on an x-ray. So we have to go looking for it. And so he's
exploratory probing.
He's cut open this knuckle in my finger, in the actual finger, and he's cut up this bone, and found it. It was a tiny little piece of glass. Felt like a boulder, and he's got it. And he's going, move your hands again, and I'm going, yeah, I think we're good. Yeah. He said, now what's going to happen is you're going to have shards of glass, and they're going to pop out of your hands over the next 6 weeks.
Your lymphatic system moves foreign objects around.
And I'm going, yeah. And he says, you'll see them pop out. Don't remove them. Let them pop out on their own. They will hurt. You'll know they're there, but they'll pop out on their own over a period of a week. A fucking week?
Yeah. A week.
And so 4 of these things actually popped out. And I was a bit rude and pulled one out. Yeah. And no, don't do that. No. Because the damage that I caused made me go back. Yeah. So the doctor says, you pulled it out, didn't you? I went, I really did. Yeah. And so I had to go and fix it. And what blew my mind was that after all this cutting and buggerizing around, my knuckles were fine. They were great. And then 9 months later, I got arthritis. They're not connected, right? Arthritis is a retrovirus that you get from something else, attacks your immune system, and your immune system attacks you. And that's why you get arthritis. And by the time you feel the pain, it's over. The damage is done. Yeah. You're never getting it better. Yeah. And they have different methods. These days, the methods for curing arthritis are really fucking good. Back in those days, what they used to do is turn off your immune system, and it would come back when you were finished. Unfortunately for me, it didn't come back, and I got a shitload of infections. Yeah. One of them being Fournier's gangrene. Doing you a solid, don't look it up.
We have every time we mentioned AIDzee's experience with flesh-eating virus, specifically Fournier's gangrene.
Don't.
If you look it up, this is where the flesh-eating virus attached his scrot that had to be cut off. You will see some really graphic photos. Hey, and on that bright note, hi to a few people. Grasshopper, Heist, Mangan, and Grasshopper wants to ask you a question. Rambling Johnny, when I get back, we've got enough people here now. We are going to do the sharting story. I'm going to get a couple of things while AIDzee continues to entertain you. I will be back. I'm going to show a couple of things. Carry on, sir.
So should I be talking to Johnny?
You can talk to whoever you want to.
Because he has a question for me?
Yeah.
I've got to find it first because I'm dyslexic and it takes me a while. AIDzee, hello.
Actually, I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Do the leader. How far did we get in the sharking story when we got cut?
I think we could just got to start again.
Yeah, start again.
All right. Okay. So, I had to go in and get a pill cam. Right. Now, these things are basically a capsule with an RFID chip in them, plus other technology and a light. And you swallow this thing, and because when you get a spit roast, which is an endoscopy and a colonoscopy, there's a bit in your alimentary canal which they can't see, yeah? And in the middle, they can't actually get to. So there's a bit they can't see. And so what they do is they give you this pill cam and you swallow it, and it's got a light and a camera. And it takes pictures every 2 seconds and it goes through your system. Now, what they don't tell you is that it's supposed to go through at a certain time rate. Now, remember, you haven't eaten for the pill cam to happen, and you're not to eat until it goes through to a certain place in your alimentary canal. Right? It's usually lunchtime. You've been fasting for the day before. Usually lunchtime, you can have something to eat. All right. So they put it in, and you wear a sumo belt, which both powers and receives the signal from the pill cam. The thing is about 25 millimeters long. It's about 9 millimeters wide. It's a big pill. You swallow it down, and away it goes. Now, unfortunately, mine went very slowly. So, unfortunately, I didn't get to eat until later on. Now, at 5 o'clock in the evening, I went in there at 7 to get it. At 5 o'clock in the evening, it's supposed to be done, and you're supposed to be able to take off the stuff and go. The pill cam will naturally leave your body, which means you'll shit it out. So they've looked at and this thing has a little machine on it, and they can see pictures of where it is, right? Mine went through so bloody slowly that they said, you have to keep this on until 11 o'clock tonight. Now, I am claustrophobic. The reason I'm claustrophobic is I was buried alive as a kid from working with my father. It's another story, we can get into it. I don't go underground. I don't go into confined spaces. I like being able to move. The sumo belt was fine, but a bit constrictive, so I was a little freaked. It's going to be okay, because at 5 o'clock tonight, the pill cam's gone, the sumo belt's gone, and everything's fine. Just to make everything really, really sure, they do not use the pill cam again. You do not catch it. They do not use it again. It is a one-time use object, and basically costs about $3,500. So
pretty amazing bit of tech.
Pretty cool tech, right? So they're looking at me and they're going, "Yeah, no, we're not happy about this pill cam. So you have to keep the gear on." I'm going, "This is not my idea of fun, but I'll do it because I'm a little trooper." and we'll find out some stuff. The reason it was going through slowly is that I have 2 sections in my alimentary canal which are tight, and unfortunately what it means is occasionally I get intestinal blockages. These things can kill you, and there's many ways to fix that. The doctors at the moment are really unhappy with these intestinal blockages. There's also some things in there that they found which they're thinking they're going to surge out. They're actually thinking about cutting the intestine from where the constrictions are and joining them back together, which is going to be an interesting exercise. So that's just by the by. What they don't tell you about eating a pill cam is that you're gassy from not eating, and unfortunately you will shart.
Even if you don't shart, you're going to do really gross farts.
All day.
All day.
All day, you're going to be crop dusting anyone. I crop dusted a whole bunch of people in a lift, managed to keep it silent. People were visibly and vocally going, what's the smell? What's the smell? Is the sewerage line broken? Yes. And I'm just quietly going, no, I've farted big time.
So, like, metaphorically, the sewerage line was broken?
It was, but it was a much localised area. So I got out of there with my stuff on. A couple of the nurses have seen me with my sumo gear on and the machinery and gone, yeah, it's him. He did it.
He did it. I can tell. I know what's happening.
Anyway.
Nurses know.
My lifestyle has been told to me by several religious factions that I'm going straight to hell.
I hope so. Jesus.
And really, I've earned it. I have really earned it. When you go through various different commandments, you just go check, check, yes. Well, that was an accident, but check.
I mean, I saw an interview with a guy who was a roadie for Queen, and he was talking about the really debauched after parties Freddie Mercury would lead. And he said, look, I've been a roadie for Pink Floyd, the Rolling Stones, Queen. I saw a lot of shit. Seriously, the parties with Freddie, I'm going to hell just for things I saw. So I'm going to hell just for things he told me. You know, I wasn't even there, but he told me.
Yeah.
And just because I have knowledge of it, that will be enough.
He will go to the pearly gates, and Peter will open the book and go, you know AIDzee, don't you?
Yeah, yeah. And you're not allowed in here.
And he will go, well, yeah, I do. And he'll go, no, buddy. No, I'm afraid not. I'm not in those shoes. And you're going to the other place. Can I go to purgatory instead? No. Because you know AIDzee, and you allowed this to happen. How did I allow this to happen? He did it 10 years before I know him. No, you allowed. In the book, it says you burn people like that, and you didn't. And he continued on his way. He's currently dating someone half his age. I just every time I can.
So
really, I just do. I really am dating someone half my age. Puppets have got it. Nothing like a shot in the arm if you can catch hold of a gorgeous young man half your age. That's really, really improved my life.
You got blind dated with Jason, didn't you?
Fucking no.
I remember.
I wasn't going to go to this date.
Someone said, oh, I know someone, you'd be good together.
Right, and this guy, like, basically knew 2 gay guys.
Right. He wasn't a gay guy, but he's like, well, I know
2 gay guys. I'm just going to slam them together. It's like watching child do architecture. You know, it's like wall, roof. And it's like, that's not going to work. Yeah. And it's like, you know, and he's told me about this guy, and I'm going, he's a 24-year-old fucking engineering student. This is ridiculous. I'm a 45-year-old, broken down, damaged. See my beautiful teeth? They're false. They used to be broken, and you can see photos from
lots of our videos
of my teeth. And what they would do is occasionally explode, right? Like, you know, broken, horrible, you know, guy with no redeeming features. Really, no redeeming features. I lived in a one-room flat. On paper, my life was no. Anyway, so I line up. I don't clean the flat. I do not clean the flat.
Because no one's coming back.
No one's coming back. And I line up YouTube videos to watch when I get home
from this disastrous day.
In an hour.
Yeah.
Right? Only reason I went was to not offend the guy who set it up, who was my neighbour. Right? And a friend of mine, so I just went, I better go. What's the worst that can happen? You can make a new friend. You know, it's going to be okay. The guy I met, right, came because he wanted practice doing a disastrous date.
Assumed this date would be disastrous, go in forewarned,
right,
and be more able to cope with an unexpected one.
So we turn up. I see him cycle there. I can't stand cyclists. Cyclists and me don't get on, right? Because I'm trying to walk with a stick and they're trying to be holier than God. And, you know, they run over me all the time and it's always annoying. So he cycles there and I go, he's a fucking cyclist. Okay, well, this is clearly not going to work. We go to the cafe, the neutral place. We're there for 3 hours. Odd. And I'm going, oh, maybe this could work. I'm starting to reel him in. And then something happens and I realise I'm being reeled in. And I go, that's it. I did not expect this. We end up going back to my place. We're about to get into my place. And I go, fuck, I haven't cleaned up. The place is a nightmare.
You're probably not wearing nice undies either.
No, forget it. I'm just wearing...
You're not wearing date undies.
Right, I haven't cleaned my clothes in a couple of weeks. Right, I've managed to put deodorant on. That's about as far as the effort went. Okay, so I get in there and I'm going, oh, okay, how do I sort this out? He goes in there and says, nice flat. And I'm going, that's odd. I find out later when I go to his place that he is a friggin' pig. His room is a shit fight, right? Let me give you a little tip. Not sorry, tip. Let me give you just a little picture. Empty food boxes in his bed.
Right.
Right. This is this guy. All right, and I'm just going. When I go to his place, I go with a garbage bag and say, we are now going to fill this with the crap in your room or I'm not staying. Right? And he goes, oh, it's so much effort. Dude, we are doing this. Right? And I take a full garbage bag of crap that he's assembled in his room. Otherwise, I will not stay in the place. We air the place out from the smell. I'm not kidding you, and then we cohabitate. So we have lived in my place for quite some time. I have learned to pick up after him because, frankly, you know, he's a 25-year-old guy, and that's just the way it's going to be. So we've been together for 2.5 years, which is 14 in gay years. And it's worked really well. So our dickhead friend who put these gay guys together because he just knew them, it was never going to work, but it worked really, really well.
Yeah.
My friend, who I just pop in for no reason, basically calms me down during this, and I'm farting all day, And he's
Oh, we're now back to the sharting story. We've gone to the wonderful love story that's gone on so well, but now we're back to the sharting story. In case you didn't get that segue.
So he's basically he's giving it. You're farting all day. You're gross. And I'm going, well, you know what am I supposed to do? I haven't eaten, and I'm not allowed to eat until this friggin' pill goes to where it's supposed to go, or the battery dies. And so we're looking at the battery dying, and it dies at 11 o'clock. I get this crap off me so I can breathe. And then I'm sharting a couple of times. They don't tell you that part, that you shart. And so I'm keeping this fart, and I'm on a bus, right, going from the friggin' hospital from where I was told, no, you've now got to keep it on till 11 o'clock, which I was really shitty about. Turns out, really.
Really.
So I'm on this bus and I feel this gurgle about to happen. Now, understand that I'm going to hell. Understand that that's a real thing, okay? If the religious systems and principles are right, I am going to hell. I've done a lot of bad things and continue to do so. And so I'm on this bus and I feel the gurgle and I think, okay, it's going to be a fart. There's a lot of school children on the bus standing up because, you know, they're letting their seniors sit down, and there's a little old lady sitting down there on the bus. And I let this fart go and it turns into a shart. And I've gone, I have just sharted my pants on a bus. There's no getting around this. What the fuck am I going to do?
And it's really toxic.
It's toxic, right? Like there's, you know, there's things in there that have like died.
Like Chernobyl has nothing on this.
Yeah, Chernobyl has a dime over it.
Yeah, it's contained.
I don't.
No containing, AIDzee.
Anyway, the school children start going, what the fuck is that? Right? They are not ashamed to say the air has become a biological hazard. And I'm just looking around and I look at the little old lady. And
meaningfully.
They look at the little old lady and I feel so ashamed of what I have done. I have passed on the shart to her. She is comfortably sitting there with her pensioner portion shopping and basically looking around because she knows the smells there too. And I have looked at her with intent, and the students have looked at her and gone, well, that's the way it is. And I have gotten off that fucking bus 2 stops early to get the fuck out of there, and I feel deeply ashamed. And I know that I'm going to hell.
Yeah, like he told me this story of how he made eye contact with the youth because everyone's going, what's that? And he made the eye contact, what's that? And then looked meaningfully at the old lady. Oh no, old lady, incontinent. And they've all gone, old lady. So he's going to hell, and you all need to know he's going to hell, basically.
I need to confess this. I need to confess this because, frankly, I will take this shame to my grave. I get home, my boyfriend goes, the fuck happened to you? Because I breathe the smell in.
Yeah, of course.
And I've gone, well, I've sharted, and I put it off on a little old lady. He goes, I see. Shower time for you.
Yes.
And I get in the shower. I basically clean up. I deliver what was left, which was just basically gas and nothing else. I mean, you know, I could have farted on the bus, left it there, but no, it was, you know, and then friggin' this bloody thing. And the bloody thing is like, you know, 11 o'clock at night, I get the stuff up, I think, Christ, I can eat. And so I eat quite happily. And then I get a phone call, did you see it? I mean, did I see it? Did you see it come out of you? No, it was enveloped in, natural matter. And they've gone, that's awkward. It might still be in you. It's not going to be still in me. It's not going to be still in me. Every bloody alimentary canal goes one way. Believe me, I'm aware of this. If it goes the other way, you've got to go to hospital, which is restrictions. And bloody, as they say, did you actually see it? No. Well, you've got to go and have an X-ray. Okay, it's gone. It's gone. And they said, well, there is a possibility that it has gone into your appendix and stayed there.
You've
gone,
taken the wrong turn.
No, that's not real. And we've looked at the video camera feed, and we're not happy about where the video camera cut out. It didn't go far enough. And I've gone, oh, that's not right. And then they've said, all right, you've got to go in for this X-ray. So I've gone in for the X-ray, and they're not allowed to tell me, because the doctor's got to tell you, they're not allowed to tell me what is going on. And they've basically nodded and winked and said, well, that was a happily quick thing. We need no more photographs. Which is code for it's gone, buddy. There's nothing there. You're right. And in fact, when I went in, they said, oh, here's a changing room to get in again. I said, look, it's just an abdo. If the strides down, shirt up, will be good. If you're happy, I'm happy. And they're going, yes, that'll be quicker. And, because they've got a million people waiting. And so they'll boom, click, click, click. Yes, don't worry about it. Time to go. Sweet. So I'm out of there, and then I get a phone call from the doctor going, yeah, buddy, we're going to have to do another spit roast. Going, okay. And it's going to be a special spit roast. Now, when I say spit roast, what that means is it's one down the front and one up the back.
Yeah, just like some specialty websites will have usually, but not always, a lady performing the spit roast with two close personal friends.
Yes.
But there's somebody in the middle who's very friendly, and two other gentlemen on each end. Maybe a lady wearing a strap on. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows? We're very inclusive here.
And this is referred to as a spit roast. That's how you tell often if the medical staff are any fun at all, because when they talk about doing that to you, you go, oh, spit roast then. And if they're horrified and think you're disgusting, they're no fun.
It's just...
But if you get a giggle out of them, they're okay.
We're okay. And in fact, bizarrely enough, if you say, okay, because they ask you, what are you here for today? And I go, oh, full spit roast. And some have gone, what?
Yeah, there's the innocent ones who simply don't know what you're saying.
But then the other ones laugh their ass out and go, oh, is that what you think of us? And I'll go, well, I am, of course, in Twilight Zone. If you want to spin me around, you can do whatever you want. And they're going, ha, 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 ha.
Yeah.
And it goes very quickly and very easily. But unfortunately, this time, they're going to put tinier little probes.
To go further.
It's going to go longer. It's going to take more time. And they're going to cut things out of me while we're there. And if they can't fix it, then they're going to cut me open.
Oh, Jesus.
And that's going to cause all kinds of awkward problems because I'm a drug pig. So it's going to be fine. Don't worry about it. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. However, what it's going to do is it's going to stop me getting blockages, which I get every about 6 months.
Actually, speaking of being a drug pig, I don't know if you answered Grasshopper. Grasshopper, who's been in a lot of our live streams, watched a lot of our videos, was interested in, was there any update on your codeine addiction and severe abuse? Did you see that?
No, I didn't, but I can tell you.
Yes.
I can tell you, this is odd, actually. I can tell you that as of last week, I have, because they urine screen you when you go into the addiction people, I can tell you that I'm officially 10 months clear of codeine. Officially, it's longer, but it's officially 10 months. So that's actually the longest time I've been off opioids since the arthritis started when I was 26.
Yeah, so like for 15 plus, you know, 20.
It's like 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And so basically, it looks like it's stuck. It looks like I'm off the drugs. And that's basically the boyfriend.
Which, yeah, is why AIDzee's mum loves Jason so much, because Jason basically made him get off the drugs.
And when my mum met my boyfriend, she said, "What do you think of our boy?" And he just said, "The smoking's got to go and the drugs have got to become a thing of the past." I mean, mum's gone, "Shit, I like him already."
Yeah.
And so 18 months later, it fucking happened.
Still happening. Yeah,
You know, and they're like going, "Well, he pisses ginger ale and farts sunshine."
Yeah.
When they ring me, they go, "So how's Jason?" And I go, "You rang me."
Yeah.
And
how am I? How about you ask me how I am?
Well, you're clearly on the phone. How's Jason? I'm still on the phone. Well, you're clearly speaking, so you're fine. How's Jason? So, yeah, like, everyone loves Jason.
Yeah.
But, you know, I am clearly just... however, the big thing was the smoking.
Yeah, because that'll kill you quicker.
The big thing. I started looking so much better. And my health improved so much. Shit, if I'd have known, no shit, how much my health was going to improve after I quit the smoking, went on to the vapes, I would have done it, 20 years ago. Easily 20 years ago. I had no idea, because I really, really, really enjoyed the smoking. I had no intention to give up smoking. And then I also go a bit crazy when I go off nicotine. So when that changed, and the first 2 weeks were the first 3 weeks were very difficult. I had the vape, so it was, you know, I didn't get crazy. Then the next 3 months was tricky. But after that, the 2 years, it's coming up to 2 years, has been really good. I can walk upstairs without getting puffed. I can walk distances without getting tired. I can smell things. I can eat things. My appetite's back, which is a problem because I can't eat too much.
Oh wow! I'm gonna answer this.
Yeah.
This is my friend Peter. Hi Peter, how are you?
Hey Peter.
Merry Christmas. We're on a live stream. I'm answering you live on a live stream. One of my YouTube friends, Peter's calling to say hello and Merry Christmas because she's wonderful. She's an awesome lady.
Hi Peter.
Look, I'm gonna put Peter on speaker. Say Merry Christmas, everyone, Peter.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Yay! I saw the call and I thought I don't want to not answer a call from you, but I thought it'd be fun to actually incorporate it into the live stream anyway. Yes. Obviously not, because it wouldn't have been a surprise to you if yeah. So you're getting a bunch of Merry Christmases and Jamma says Shabbat Shalom, of course. That's also in the mix. But we could talk properly later, but I wanted to incorporate you into the live stream. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah, AIDzee's right here, going back on speakerphone.
Hey darling, how are you?
Oh, look, I wish you, where were you when we were over in Melbourne?
Oh, I was probably doing something medical.
Yeah, because you weren't around when VidCon was on. I don't know what you were doing.
I was having, let's be frank, a very difficult time. Look, what happened was when I gave up the opioids properly, the anxiety that was being masked by the opioids came screaming out of the cellar and basically shut me down. And we basically had to get a handle on that. We've got the edges of it sort of sorted out. But the AIDzee's a little still fragile right now. And so I pop in and out of work occasionally because sometimes, yeah, it's not working for me. Sometimes it is. And I do love working. And yeah, we're working on systems to fix that. And I've got a new system that I'm working on for painkilling, which when I get it together, I will share it with all of you in a both a video form and a written form.
Is that some sort of form of oil or something, is it?
Well, what it is it's basically a way to turn on your own endorphin system consciously.
Wow.
Yeah, and you'd think, that sounds a bit odd, but there's actually a group of crazy Christians in the northeast of America who've done it, and it's been studied, and they thought, oh, you know, it was just bloody faith taking over. But they've actually blood tested these people while they've done their process, and in fact, their endorphin system have spiked while they're doing the process. So it's actually working.
Wow.
So it's actually a real thing. And instead of taking their exact route to do it, we're working, I and a couple of others are working on the exact system mentally that had to happen for it to work.
That's pretty cool.
It is a bit cool. And basically, if it works, you'll be able to turn on your painkillers automatically. You'll be able to turn on your anxiety killers automatically. You'll be able to change your attitudes and mindset using whatever systems you've got in place. I'm sorry I'm being vague.
No, look, that's okay, but I think everybody would be very interested in turning on the anxiety killer. That is something I'm very interested in.
Yeah, it basically works by changing one's consciousness, which is the bit that we're having difficulty with at the moment, because usually what you do is you use drugs to do that, but we don't have to.
Wow.
And then you use a system of body realignment, which sounds a bit chakras, but it's not. It's basically using mindful meditation in a very quick form to reorient the
Recalibrate yourself.
Yeah. Reorient the systems that you're experiencing, and then there's a trigger. The trigger can be anything, but it's your trigger for what you need it to be. It literally can be anything, but it's usually a physical thing that you carry around with you. It could be a Lego minifigure. It could be a watch. It could be anything. It could be anything that you carry around in your pocket. It could be anything that you have on a chain around your neck. It could be a charm bracelet, and you trigger on that thing, and then bang, the endorphins hit, and you're sweet for about 2 to 4 hours. And so
that's pretty amazing, AIDzee.
once we get that together, basically there'll be no need for
drugs.
No need for drugs, because you're making your own.
Yeah. Because the thing I champion that I've talked about both on live streams and I have some videos on it, EMDR and EFT, which are psychology techniques. Mrs. Angry is a psychologist, counselor, and she tries these things out on me, and they're amazing. They work for anxiety. You can use them for really quite severe PTSD, and you can use them for really mundane things. Like I've been using them for weight loss, like being able to resist snacks and whatnot and eating more healthy food. I've lost like 10 kilos through just this technique.
And he's looking sexy. Just saying.
You know, your subconscious mind can do anything.
Oh yeah.
Really,
Where the mind goes, the body follows.
Yeah, we're a skeleton. We're a skeleton wrapped in, you know, flesh and muscle, being piloted by, you know, a kilogram or two of meat on the inside. So, and that's that little thing up here is mind-blowingly powerful.
Yeah, and will rewire itself according to the needs that it has. If you have a brain injury, it will actually rewire itself to take over the functions of the brain injury. But what you can do is you can actually get in there in a conscious way to suggest to the subconscious to reprogram.
Yeah,
and
that's what it's about, reprogramming your subconscious.
That's it. And once you get that done, you can pretty much get anything done. Look, SAS troops and French Foreign Legion troops are trained to basically tell their minds to do impossible things, and their bodies will follow. And so it's similar techniques without people yelling at you. It's basically the same stuff.
Basically what everything I'm based on. So that would be something very curious for me, because I talk to my subconscious all the time and ask it to do stuff and reprogram it to the needs that I have. And it's very powerful stuff. And if people do actually believe it, and instead of looking at it and going, well, that doesn't work, and sort of not realising that we're all one, you know, our body is all one thing.
Yeah.
And we can tell it what to do and reprogram the cells are just like computer, you know, little computer bits.
That's right. And once you understand the code, which is the tricky bit, once you understand the code, you can recode whatever the hell you want.
There's a book I've been meaning to read for ages, and I will get it from the library at one point, by a Dr. Joseph Sarno, who talks about the mind-body link with pain and chronic pain.
Mind-body connection,
Yeah, and his work apparently, for some people, is borderline miraculous. Like, some people have said they've coped with chronic crippling pain their whole life. And this is not an injury. Like, AIDzee's chronic pain is from an injury caused by rheumatoid arthritis. And Sarno doesn't say, if you broke your arm, it's still going to hurt because it's broken. If you've got a torn cartilage, it's still going to hurt because it's torn. But when you still suffer when it's a type of injury that should have healed, but you still suffer chronic pain, that's a mind-body thing. And some people have said simply reading his book has let them address the core issues that were happening, and they've been liberated from the pain. Like, these people who have sciatica and back pain that cripples them and they lie on the floor screaming. And some people go through a treatment program with him, or someone who follows his thing. Some people said literally just reading his book, by educating them and how their brain works, they've been able to. So I'm fascinated. I'm not an acolyte of his at all. I saw a doco that was more of a propaganda reel than a documentary. But I'm really interested in reading his book, because his book seems to have affected so many people.
And see, this is the thing, right? The chronic pain that I experience is not through actual physical damage. The physical damage is done. It's over. If I experience a pain experience and it's not treated within 3 days, it stays forever. So I have bits and pieces all over me that are hurt all the time because of the chronic pain system that I've got going with my nerves. The arthritis is fixed. It's finished. The disease phase is done. It's been over for years. But the other bits and pieces of pain that I experience, basically, again, there's no injury site. It's healed. It's done. But the pain remains because of nervous difficulties. And if you can then reassign the...
override it.
Well, it's not even override it because the pain nerves are going to keep going. They're going to keep going. What you then need to do is you need to get the right endorphins to hit the right systems at the right time. One of the things that is fascinating in pain is that you have to keep your spirits up, because pain relies on you feeling bad, like emotionally bad. If you feel down, you very quickly go down the pain spiral and are on the floor in agony. If you can keep your spirits up, then you will literally reduce the number score of your pain all the time. So attitudinally, if you can keep your spirits up, you can keep on functioning. So if you take that to the next level and go, all right, that's one system of your brain. Now let's talk about the other systems of your brain and the other systems of your endorphin system, and release them when you want. You can give yourself a hit of painkiller, which releases you from having to tune out nerves. You can tune out nerves by going, this hurts, I hear you, I have got the message, I now no longer need to listen to that. And it basically takes, like, there's a screaming woman in your ear, and the pain doesn't stop, but you take her down the corridor and put her down behind a closed door, and the noise goes down. So if you can do that, then you can function in your day. But it's very grinding. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of thought. And if you can give yourself 4 hours off a day, then you can refresh, and you can do that over and over and over and over again, and basically live free. And so that's the.
It's like bordering on miraculous.
Well, it's apparently something that our cave dwellers used to do. Apparently, the shamans in our old days used to convince, because remember, pain has always been a thing, right? Pain warns you that you've injured something. And back in the old days when we didn't have the Western medical health system to, like, surge up your broken bones and they would knit badly, it had hurt. So apparently the shamans used to get in and basically convince the patient that that pain didn't have to be there. And so this is not a new thing, but it is something that we have not even forgotten, but it's something that we've minimized because we expect our body to do it on its own. But because we live longer, and because we have more opportunities to have really very bad pain experiences. When we were cave people, we had bad pain experiences, we would die. It was very simple, you'd die. But now we can live through that, and effectively we have minimized the ability of the body to deal with that on an individual level. And of course we don't have shamans anymore, so they're not.
Well, we do.
Go on.
Nobody listens to them, but we do have them.
We do have them, but they're not trained very well anymore.
I'm going to say a quick goodbye to Stephen, who's leaving. And I don't think I ever said a proper hello to Petite Wallaby, who came in and joined us here. I like to say hello when people join and goodbye when they leave.
Hey
but anyway, yes. So we've gone from a really tacky story about sharting to really deep metaphysical stuff, which I like. That's what the live streams are all about.
Right up my alley. Lucky I thought.
Yeah, that's what the live streams are all about, jumping between as many topics as possible. And
so
just
how did you find VidCon, Andrew?
I enjoyed VidCon, and I found that my motivation levels were higher after VidCon than they were before, just being around other people, because as you know, you and I have both experienced, YouTube can be frustrating. It can feel like the people who run the site are working against us. But then when you share time with other creators, it's easier to tap back into the positive side of why we would do this and why we do it. So, because I mean, life's full of setbacks. I mean, and yeah, there's no two ways about it. Occasionally, it feels like, you know, Google and YouTube are working against us as individual creators. But as AIDzee, and I try to share, because AIDzee's worked in the traditional media industry. They're motherfuckers.
They are bastards. Trust me.
Oh, because the traditional media industry is run by people who aren't creative at all. Yeah. It's run by suits and lawyers and accountants, and they rely on the creatives. They hate the creatives. They hate because the creatives do stuff that they can't do. But then these people have control over the purse strings. They have control over the money that comes out. So they really exploit that power. There's an unending stream of real examples of people.
Well, I spoke to this guy Andrew, in Channel 9 here in Adelaide. I'm not going to say his name.
Don't.
No, really don't.
Apparently, if you look up his name, it means penis.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I thought that was quite relevant to your live streams because often you're obsessed with your penises, but
I wouldn't say obsessed.
This guy.
I wouldn't say obsessed.
Okay.
I'd
just say you think a lot about.
Interested.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, I approached him about my channel and approached him about, you know, what we could do. And the man decimated me and told me that all I was a YouTuber that wanted to get free advertising. And why should I do that? He told me that what I had was nothing, meant nothing. And the reason why nobody watches it is because nobody's interested.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic.
Now, you just passed a really big, in terms of some idiot on Channel 9 saying no one watches you, you just passed a really big milestone, didn't you?
I know. And I tried to tell him that. I tried to say, well, that's actually not true. And here are my stats.
Yeah.
Still, nobody was interested in his mind. And when I asked him about it, and when I finally said to him, look, could I speak to someone else that might be interested in my channel? He said, no, I'm sorry. I'm the gatekeeper and nobody gets past me.
Yeah.
And you know what's going to be interesting?
I was done.
You know what's going to be interesting is that in 6 to 8 months, you are going to see something on Channel 9 that is vaguely familiar to what you fucking pitched him.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, if I do, I'm going to go mad.
Yeah.
So, you're going to go mad, but you're going to be in a lot of fucking difficulty. But you know what is beautiful?
Well, look, when Penny goes mad, everybody else is in pain.
You know, Peter.
It's not that if that happens, that channel's going to be in a world of pain.
I respect that completely. But you know what, Peter? You are a creator, and you can create new and beautiful fucking things.
Yeah.
So that is.
And I knew that when after he was decimating me, and I just thought, well, you're a dinosaur, mate. You just, you know, you've got no idea. I just left it. You know, I didn't call it, but I went on to actually. I was quite upset actually after that, and I drank a number of glasses of white wine and seen me when I've been through a message. I ended up putting something up on my YouTube channel that said everything, what he did, and then I put his email there. And I said, if you don't agree with him,
let him know.
Oh my God, 8 hours. It was up, and like I had like 300 comments. I normally get 20 comments on my videos, 300 in 8 hours. And I had to take it down the next morning. He did warn me. He said, Peter, possibly you've had too much alcohol. And possibly you should put this up. And I told him, you know, we're doing a live stream, want to be, you know, right about this wording stuff. But you can imagine what I said.
Yeah. I can.
Yeah. And then it was done. But it was good because this is where I found out that his name meant penis.
That's good. I like that. And I want to say, Tara's been asking in the chat about the name of your channel, Peter. If you look up, it's a very interesting channel. If you search YouTube for face aerobics, Peter has this whole technique for basically rejuvenating yourself without having to use cosmetic surgery. And it's a very interesting approach to looking after yourself and not having to use, you know, a surgical or fillers and injections and all that sort of stuff.
You know what? I'm sorry. I'm just going to jump in here, Peter, because you've touched on a sore point with me.
Ooh, which one?
I am on an urban shaman. I'm fucking happy to admit that and come out right now and say that right now, okay? And I fucking talk to people all the time who are broken and hurt by society, and we do our best to fix their self-worth and their fucking motivation, right? That's basically our gig. Now, what fucking shits me to tears is there is a multi-trillion-dollar industry devoted to telling girls, unless you put our shit on your face, you are not worthy. And I fucking hate that.
Yeah.
Fucking they're taught from fucking early tweens. You've got to go out and buy fucking hundreds of dollars worth of shit to put on your face, or you're not fucking worthy to walk around the streets. And trust me, Peter, when you get naked in front of a guy, he is not worried about your fucking cosmetics. Trust me.
And that's the whole thing about this whole industry is that the whole beauty industry is that it's a billion, gazillion, gozillion, trillion, bajillion dollar industry. And they put out this crap out on TV and say, put this on your face and you'll look 10 years younger. And it just does not work. It's just not right.
Yeah.
I have my own stuff. I don't tell people any of that because it's not right. It's just wrong to say that your face is going to lift. The only way your face lifts is if you do exercises on your face, or if you, you know, use injections, fillers, or a facelift.
Yeah.
But all of that stuff is just like, you know, and I'm not against any of that stuff. I don't care about whether people do it because it's a very personal thing.
Sure.
That you do with this. I mean, and if you decide to go the injections and fillers, well, that's fantastic. Look, and it's not for me to say you can't do that because I'm not fanatical about this.
No, and if you want to do that, do that. But it just shits me that these people fucking have the gall to say you are not worthy unless you buy our shit. And guys have different avenues, but it's the same crap. And people forget that it's person-to-person fucking contact that, in fact, gives you the fulfillment of human-to-human.
Yeah, no, actually, not person-to-person. I just want to define that, or just make a distinction on that I agree, but it's soul-to-soul contact.
Okay, yeah, I'm prepared to go with that.
Yeah.
I'm prepared to go with that.
Soul-to-soul.
You know,
it's
it's
that other soul, and you fall in love with that person.
Right, it's not the fucking packaging. No one gives a shit about the packaging. Maybe that attracts you at the bar, but as soon as that's over, they don't care anymore. It's the person. It's who you are with. You know, it's how you can treat a person. You know, which is why I insist on treating fucking waiters and waitresses with respect, because they have a story and a life and they are working. Fucking treat them with respect. Treat cleaners with respect. You are not better than anyone.
It's sort of more about just the fact that we're all the same. You know?
Hey!
We're not...
Fucking oath.
You know, I'm no better than you, AIDzee, and no better than you, other than you helped me have on many very levels.
And I thank you.
But, yes, oh no, that's okay. I mean, you know what I'm saying, but, you know, we're all the same.
Fucking nice.
Whether you, whatever you do to yourself, it is a very, very personal thing. And whatever you decide yourself to be is a very personal thing. And there's none of this, you know, it's just the narcissism that is wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? And I think it's about just being more leveled and understand that we're all the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all the same.
Absolutely.
Well, it doesn't doesn't matter what goes on, what we look like, who we are, what we claim ourselves to be, what we assign ourselves to be.
Hey.
We are human.
Absolutely.
Human.
Yeah.
We're sentient beings.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Hey, look, so really enjoyed having the surprise bonus guest on here. We're going to have to go soon, but before we do, see, I got a bunch of Christmas mail the other day, AIDzee, but some of it's addressed to you. So there's a card. You can open your card.
Can I open my card?
Yes, Peter.
I will leave you guys right now. This is a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
And thank you very much. And I will contact you a little bit later.
Okay. Thank you, Peter.
And yes, to you and yours, a Merry Christmas and all that. And we'll talk again soon.
We will. And Merry Christmas to you and your family, and to you, AIDzee, and your family, and to all your people who are watching.
Yes.
And it's just wonderful to be able to talk.
Okay. Excellent. Oh, thanks, Peter. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, Peter. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
See ya.
I just say that twice because you might have seen me drop the phone then. I caught it, but I hit the mute button. So I had to say thanks. Okay, how are you with the handwriting there, AIDzee?
I'm getting there. I've read it a couple of times. I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got a lovely card here with a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer who has a mace.
I think it's a Christmas bauble, but you can go with the medieval mace.
I'm going with the medieval mace.
Yeah.
I'm liking basically Rudolph giving it a bit of I'm getting in your fucking chimney.
Yeah.
Sorry, babe.
Yeah. I'm here to fuck shit up.
I'm here to fucking deliver presents or fuck shit up. Okay, and so inside, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, and I've been given to be a dear AIDzee. I hope you and your family have a very Merry Christmas and a safe New Year's. Blessed be. Signature and Teresa, and
she's letting us know who she's on YouTube. Miss Lilith, Miss Lilith Rain, who is in the chats sometimes.
So thank you. That was really lovely. It was really nice. Thanks very much.
And you got a little letter from Toby, who's not in the live stream. But anyway, he'll probably watch this back at some point.
Okay, cool.
Toby Toby sends all the religious tracts so we can laugh at them and do stuff on them. And he's been coming up with a Church of Angry built around the precepts of the Church of Satan, basically.
Fair enough.
Which you'd be on board with. And he's written you a little letter. Do you want me to read it, or you want to read it?
If you wouldn't mind, I can't read it.
Because it's little type, and AIDzee being a bit dyslexic. It's easy. So, okay, Lord AIDzee, I want to write to you to tell you that you are my Lord and Saviour, as opposed to AngryAussie, who happens to be only a Lord and not a Saviour, which is good to know. Because you are my Saviour as well as my Lord. I have to send this letter to you to wish you, your boyfriend Jason, if I remember correctly, and all those awesome individuals who are obviously awesome because they're allowed to extend such awesomeness as you in their lives, like me and other viewers of Angry's channel. You're obviously awesome. That fact's made evident by the fact you've had so much that should have killed you, but the universe thought, I'd be a cunt if I killed him, and so we let you live. I thank the forces of the universe that allowed you to live. Also thank the universe for allowing you to know Angry, but when for Angry allowing you to appear in the videos, a lot of people, including myself, may never have heard of your awesomeness that is embodied in you. Is AIDzee your real name? If not, how did it become known as AIDzee? I can't imagine you by any other name. I've tried using other names for you, but most haven't fit. AIDzee has been the best fit. That name has added to your awesomeness. I will constantly grow in your awesomeness. This is because awesomeness like yours only goes to feed that level of awesomeness. Hang around, Angry. We'll also feed your awesomeness. I hope the future goes well. I know that you're awesome, and I'll testify that you are my Lord and Saviour, and will always be my Lord and Saviour.
That is fucking lovely. And I thank you.
And look, we're gonna send postcards. I've got some stuff here because we made merch at various times, and gonna send merch because Toby sent us so much stuff. I'm gonna send him stuff. I had a test printing of a T-shirt done, and I don't really want a T-shirt with me on it, so I'm gonna send Toby this. So if Toby, if you're watching him, I'm really gonna send you this, an Angry T-shirt.
It's kind of cool. Actually.
Got an Angry and AIDzee fridge magnet.
Which, you know, who doesn't like a fridge magnet?
I'm gonna send these to everyone who sent us cards and stuff. Even like my little business cards for the YouTube channel. If you carry that, it's like an angry little cartoon of me, and the text says, "The bearer of this card is sick of your bullshit, so STFU." And it's got a wrong number on there. It's got the old Angry phone number, which I don't have anymore. but it's got my YouTube channel, and that little QR code actually works. Send you to my YouTube channel. And we're going to write a postcard. We're going to write people postcards back. We have a couple of postcards. See, a big Angry and AIDzee postcard. We'll send one of those to Toby and somebody else. But we've got a few other postcards. Oh, this I might send this big magnet to Toby because he sent so much stuff. That's a fridge magnet. That's like fan art that someone did. Were you? Sorry, who got cut off? No, you're there. Mistress M got kind of cut off. She used to be You're on that fridge magnet. So,
sweet.
So we're going to send. So yeah, and we've got that on postcards as well. So we might send some people this postcard. Not that I smoke, but that was for and I don't have a gun either. But that was done for the.
It's a fan art thing,
It's a fan art thing. So so everyone who sent us cards, we're going to send cards back. Oh, face rabbits. Okay, that's Peter there in the chat for those who want to know. So we're going to send people. If you send us a card, like my postal address is GPO Box 3290, Melbourne 3001. It's on all my videos. So if you look at my videos on YouTube, if you send us a postcard, tell us something about where you live. Like if there's a postcard from your hometown or city. Just send us a postcard.
Send us something back.
Hey, Hatara, if you want to do some fan art, I'm always down for that. I've had amazing stuff.
Yes, we love fan art.
So yeah, these are all these wonderful bits of artistic genius. We didn't do them.
No,
someone else did.
We did not do them. Other people did them and sent them in, and we went, that is fucking awesome.
So if you send us a postcard,
so much.
We'll send you one back. And look, something about your town would be cool. Something about you, just anything. It'd be fun, and we can do it in the live streams. But we're going to have to wrap up because it's almost 6 p.m. We're in the kitchen, and dinner's going to have to be gotten ready here.
Yeah.
So before anyone comes at us with like sharp knives or spatulas,
which has happened.
Yeah.
And you know what is weird is it's Angry Studio, but they fucking stabbed me.
Yeah. Just as an example.
I don't know what's going on. It's just AIDzee stab. Yeah, and I'm going, well, I've been stabbed. Guys, are you going to ice a cake with that?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah, but we're going to wash it first, like you're some kind of tard.
Okay, so we're almost 6 p.m. Petite Wallabies at almost 2 a.m. Yeah, you got to go to bed, girl. Speaking of people who've done fan art, Petite Wallaby is a really great cartoonist. She's done us, me as a Tasmanian devil and you as a wombat. Back when we did watching movies together, doing commentary tracks.
We should do another movie.
And I was forcing you to watch really scary, violent movies.
I like movies where the insides of people stay on the inside and the outside stay on the outside. And I asked Angry about this, and he says, "Oh yeah, that's happening."
And then I make you watch a movie like Tokyo Gore Police or something.
And that's not what happens.
No, the insides come way onto the outside.
And I'm going, like, that's not what I was looking for.
So Petty Wallaby did a really nice one of us watching the thing with me just laughing hysterically and you with your eyes covered going, no! I put it on Facebook at one point. I've obviously still got it somewhere.
I'm not usually a wimp, but unfortunately what has happened to me in my life is
because your own insides have ended up on the outside.
So much fucking surgery that my own insides have ended up outside, and I've actually had to witness that.
So you don't like seeing it represented on screen?
I really don't like seeing it.
Yeah, we should do some more commentary tracks for movies because that's what we were doing. We haven't done it for a while.
Yeah, we should.
And the reason we stopped is because there's a period where you were really unwell, where you really couldn't sit there for 2 hours and do one. But you're much better now.
Much better.
And the idea of our commentary tracks is we play the video and do a running commentary track of it. So later you either because we were uploading them to YouTube, not doing them as live streams. We did some as live streams though.
We did actually. Yeah.
But the idea is you can watch the video with us. You press play when we press play, and it's like we're watching it together, which is a fun thing to do. We'll do some more of them. But we do have to go now. So thank you one and all. Merry Christmas, season's greetings, happy holidays.
Happy Yule, have a good one.
Cool Kwanzaa, all these things.
Happy Hanukkah.
look after yourself, because we want to see you around again sometime soon. But for now, we shall bid you adieu. Take care.
Thanks so much. Thanks so much for letting us be on your device.
And bye now.
Bye.
And I'm assuming